Let me talk about this one TV show that I saw maybe about a couple years ago. It was BBC News documentary or something. The TV show mainly talked about the lifestyles of the immigrants and the native the British people and stuff. Yeah. Now basically this TV show like shows this life of this African immigrant or something. Um, you know, he's somewhere from Africa, but he migrated to the UK, and he's like basically he's a very nice man. And he's very nice to his neighbors, and everybody loved him and all that stuff. Um, and was he has some, I don't know, specialized knowledge about, like, maybe I think he was a mechanic or something. I don't know. I forgot. But he was very good at his occupation and stuff. Yeah. And on the other hand, this TV show says that this TV show talks about like how this guy, this native uh British boy, I should say, he was very young. He was about, well, he's like 20 some years old, and he's very lazy. He doesn't want to go to work, and yeah, he actually needed some help to get up in the morning and stuff. And basically, he wasn't working, but his parents actually had to physically push him to go to work and stuff. But he kind of quits in a few days or whatever. You know, kind of like lazy uh native British person or something. Yeah, I saw that. And there's this Japanese TV show which shows like um um this Filipino immigrant to Japan, and this Filipino man speaks very good Japanese, and he is very good at his job. He is nice to his neighbors, and he everybody loved him. On the other hand, yeah, there's this Japanese person, native Japanese person who was born and raised in this country, and he was very lazy, and he doesn't go to work, and his parents actually had to push him to go to get up in the morning and go to work, and but he doesn't last. He quits in a few days and stuff. Yeah, that kind of TV show. Yeah. Anyway, these two TV shows were basically talking about the same thing. Yeah, the immigrants are great, and the natives are lazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what that's what any TV stations want to say or uh want to assert nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. This kind of reminded me of like back in the university in the US about 30 years ago. My major in the university was political science. Political science. I had this teacher who actually was from Egypt. Yeah. And he was saying, now he is well, I was in the US, so he was an immigrant himself, but he was saying that if 1% of the population of the country is or are immigrants, then the country will stay healthy. Yeah. Um, if that's like 100% native, yeah. If the country is like 100% native, and then the country uh, the country's culture will not develop very much, or it won't change very much, whatever. Um, but if there's 1% of immigrants, if there's 1% of immigrants in the country, and then the country's culture will be better and stuff like that. But if it's over 1%, if it's over 1%, and uh, it might not get very healthy because uh, too many different cultures and they can create conflicts. Yeah, or like can create the some kind of a cultural destruction. Yeah, in the country. Yeah, yeah. He was saying something like that, and he was yeah, he was saying that. But in that particular class, we had lots of uh, we had lots of students who were Jewish, yeah, and they did not like that, yeah, and those Jewish students who were born and raised in the U.S. and stuff, but obviously they are like more pro immigration, and you know, and they basically as- they asserted back to the teacher saying that like the America is a nation of immigrants. It's almost 100% immigrants and stuff. Yeah, yeah. And the teacher was saying that yes, it is. America, the U.S. is a nation of immigrants, but they're mainly those immigrants are mainly from Europe. So because those Europeans wanted to create an Europe on the American continent and stuff. Yeah. So they are the natives now. Yeah. The white Americans are the natives now. Yeah. And so the what he meant as the 1% of immigrants are the people from Asia or Africa, stuff like that, right? Or like new immigrants that don't really speak English or something. Yeah. And yeah. But they had this very big argument and stuff. And I was kind of like I'm a Japanese student. I didn't really consider myself an immigrant, but anyway, yeah, I kind of listened to their conversation. Basically they are yelling back to each other and stuff. But anyway, according to this Egyptian professor, yeah, um, 1% of immigrant 1% of immigrants in the country makes the society healthy. Yeah, if there's only 1%, but if there's more than that, yeah, and it can make the society um, um, not very healthy anymore. Yeah, according to his research and stuff. Yeah. Which I thought was very interesting and it was stuck in my head. Yeah. Mr. G, Jews, eh? What a surprise, right? Yeah. you know, uh, America. Yeah. There are some Jews actually. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's what Do you understand what I'm talking about here? Yeah. Um. Yeah. So that's basically that really stuck in my head and whatever. Um. But nowadays in Japan, according to the statistics, uh, there is like 2% of immigrants in Japan. Yeah. But I think that the statistics is wrong because there are like now Japan's population is like 130 million. Yeah, which is very large, I think. Yeah. I think Japan is like a 10th biggest country when it comes to the population and stuff. Yeah. We have like including the naturalized one. Yeah. Uh I think there are about like 4 million Koreans and another 4 million Chinese and stuff. Yeah. So that can make almost like like uh I don't know 10 million or um immigrants from different countries in total, I think. Yeah. So that makes about almost 10%. Yeah. So I should say like including the ones who are who have been here for generations. Um, um, Almost 10% of the Japanese or the 10% of the people who live in Japan are immigrants. Yeah. So yeah. So actually, Japan really does have a lot of immigrants in this country here. Yeah, mainly from China and Korea, and other countries in Asia. Yeah, I'm talking about Asia. Yeah, not India or Pakistan or whatever, or Afghanistan or something. They talk about like very funny statistics, saying something like 98% of the Japanese people, 98% of the population in Japan is Japanese, and other 2% are like, you know, foreign, like a people or something. But I wish we have a lot more than that. Yeah, yeah. And nowadays the Vietnamese are catching up. Yeah, we have a very large number of new like a kind of like newly coming immigrants from Vietnam, and of course, like we have been having this uh, immigrants from the Philippines, actually for generations already. Of course, they are mixed with the Japanese and stuff, so maybe that makes the statistics like 98%, maybe, yeah, because most of them are married to Japanese and stuff, and when you look at them, you can recognize whether they have a Filipino background or whatever. Yeah, or Vietnamese or Chinese or Koreans. Chinese and Koreans and Japanese, we look very similar, right? Yeah, I think you know. So you can really tell. Even if their parents are from China, but they look but because they're born and raised in this country and they speak Japanese just like us. Yeah, and unless they say so, I can really tell, or you can really tell whether they have a Chinese background and stuff. Yeah, but in their head, they're Chinese, I think, because they grew up in the Chinese culture in their families. Yeah, yeah. That's what makes immigrants different from the Japanese people. Yeah. And Sally, what they do in the UK is they give them a passport that therefore classes them as, as British and of our race. Really. Uh, if if 10% are true Brits, then you can bet that another 20% are 20% or more are British passport holders, right? Yeah. We're having this election of House of Councillors, which is like a kind of like a Senate in the U.S. And I don't know how you call this in the UK, but I think you have something similar. Yeah, we have two houses. One is House of Councillors, and the other one is House of Representatives. Yeah, and this we have House of Councillors election coming up very soon, and we have all kinds of interesting candidates, and one of them is a former Korean person who is obviously naturalized as a Japanese citizen. Yeah, his name is Kim Taeyeon, and to us, Kim doesn't really sound like Japanese name, but he goes by his Korean name, I guess. Yeah, and he makes some very interesting promises, and I want to talk about them. Yeah, 8 of them. Number one, yeah. Um, he wants to give the right of joining the politics to to the to the foreign residents in Japan. Yeah, foreigners in Japan. Yeah, that's number one. Yeah, and number two, he wants to allow the the Japanese people to have multiple nationalities. There are some people who have like two different nationalities, and if they don't say so, and they cannot find out, right? Yeah. So anyway, whatever. That's what he wants to do. He wants to allow people to have multiple citizenship. Yeah. And number three, he wants to allow the Japanese people to he wants to allow the Japanese married couples to have different family names. Yeah. And so um, I think you know what I'm talking about here, maybe. Like my name is Ochiai. That's my family name. Yeah. And my wife had a different um, family name. Yeah. But when we got married, um, my wife decided to have my family name. So we have the same family name. But some people think, mostly women, I think, they say that it's not fair for women to change, or it's not fair for women to have to change their family names when they get married or something. I don't know about I don't know about your countries, but in Japan, like married couples have to have one same family name. Yeah, but this Korean guy wants to change that. Yeah. And number four, gay marriage, or like same sex marriage. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right. At this moment in Japan, um, if you're a gay couple or lesbian couple, and then cannot you cannot register yourself as like a married couple. Yeah, but s- I, at this moment I know one city in Tokyo, which allows them. I don't really know what that is, but they almost allowed the gay couples to be recognized as a married couple. They almost have as the same right that the married couples have, which is to have children, or like to have, oh, or and any woman can have children, but I don't know, social securities and whatever, any rights or whatever. Um, uh, but there's one city in Japan that allows that, and it became kind of controversial. Yeah. And number five, um, uh, this Korean guy wants to allow the Korean schools in Japan to be free of charge. Yeah, which means the Japanese government will have to aid this Korean school. Yeah. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about here. In Japan, we have many Korean schools. Yeah, um, North Korean schools actually, not South Koreans. Well, South Korean, there are some South Korean schools which are a problem. Yeah, which are a problem. But we have so many more North Korean schools in Japan, and they built those North. Obviously, those North Koreans built their schools about 70 years ago in Japan, and they want to have their ethnic uh, kind of like education to the Korean residents in Japan and stuff. Yeah, I think they about 70 years ago, or for time being, there were about 80 North Korean schools in Japan, and became much fewer now. And I think at now they're only about 20 or something, which still is a lot, I think. Yeah. And because they're considered private schools, right? So they basically charge money, extra money to the students and stuff. So the students have to pay a lot of money. And they don't want to have to do that. So they're asking the Japanese government to aid those schools so that the students won't have to pay the extra money and stuff anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And Sally, civil partnership. Right. Yeah, the same-sex marriage thing. Right. You know the word. I don't know any words actually. I don't know any words in Japanese, or I don't know any words in English. I don't know those technical terms. Yeah, I don't pay attention. I should, because I'm into this kind of shit. I'm into this kind of talking stuff. So yeah. hmm Yeah, I'm going to read the chat. Actually, I'm going to read them now. Yeah. um. mm, Bacon. If you want to see interesting characters, you should see UK politicians, men in dresses, etc. Really? Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. But pretty soon in Japan, you're gonna see. I think I got the feeling. I got a very bad feeling about this because there are some in Japan, like there are some people who, in in Asia, um, maybe because of the Buddhist culture, the homosexuality is quite accepted. Yeah. Um, like I think that the ones that you have seen is like Thailand. Yeah. You can change your sex. They can give you like surgery to cut off your thing, and you can become a woman if you were a man, or I don't know. Maybe women can become a man or something. Vice versa. But anyway, but Thailand is not the only country which is open to the gay marriage and stuff, but not gay marriage, the homosexuality. But Japan is too. In Japan, like we have a lots of um like gays or lesbians who became very famous, who became very successful, and all that stuff. I think that's because of the Buddhist culture, because Buddhist culture doesn't really talk about like a procreation. Yeah. Um. So basically, then you know, like a couple hundred years ago, we had some very famous samurais, soldiers, warriors who were uh, gay or who are homosexuals, and they there are some stories or actually records that show that those samurais, the man basically they are men, and they have sex and stuff. Yeah. Um. Um. Because when you're at the how do you call it, when basically when you are going to the battlefield, there's no woman, right? So the man, some of those men, uh you know they uh they become very close, and they did that. Yeah. And stuff like that. Yeah. But again, because of this, like because of this, like I would say communist version of like uh homosexuality, or like gay or lesbian thing or something, and all of a sudden they become like a one big force of people, and start they start to scream that they want to have the same rights that what they want to have extra rights. They want to have extra um um how do you call it, like yeah, extra rights, or like they want to have extra money actually, for them to stay gay. Yeah. So yeah, poison. Yeah, I think somebody put down the word poison somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to get to that very soon, I think. Um, We call them dual passport holders. Right. Yeah. I get finished off sometimes. And other things like communism and stuff. Yeah. hmm Anyway, so yeah, Japanese government doesn't allow that. Yeah. Um, but like I said, the most common ones, the most common dual passport holders are Korean and Japanese, or like Americans and Japanese. I think those are the two major ones. Yeah, because there are some Japanese who are born in the U.S., so they automatically get the U.S. passport, and then they come back to Japan, and so they have their Japanese passports. Yeah, and stuff. But and if they don't say it and nobody finds out, so um yeah, the stuff. Yeah. Streaky bacon, this is all subversion in your country. Yeah, Ochiai. We are used to this in the UK. You're like us 20 years ago as a country getting the heat of globalism, right? Mhm. Is that right? That's interesting actually. That's 20 years, like 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, I actually was going to the UK. Yeah, I was going to London actually. Yeah, London and actually Manchester too. Those are the two places I have been to in the UK because I was a flight attendant at the time. But yeah, I didn't really. I should have studied more about the UK and stuff, but I didn't do that. Yeah, there are lots of gay or like an homosexual samurais. Yeah, many hundred years, many hundreds of years ago. Yeah, and it is common and it is accepted. i- Homosexuality has always been accepted in this country. It's okay. We don't really have like an words, like a derogatory terms for gay people. I know. I don't know about the UK, but I know in the US they have all kinds, all that funny names or bad names for gay people and stuff. But in the Japanese language, we don't really have them. We have one word which shows that it's gay and stuff, but it's not derogatory. It just show, yeah. So maybe I think that's because of the Buddhist culture. Yeah. You must understand this. This pressure from the globalist will not go right. Yeah, this will this will get worse. Yeah, this will. Uh, we have to keep fighting, and people on our side have to be bigger. The the number has to increase and stuff. Yeah. Nuclear power plants are very safe. Yeah. I think you're talking about the damage in Fukushima and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Actually, um, mm, yeah, the nuclear power plants in Fukushima were damaged by tsunami, like a tidal wave. Yeah, not because of the earthquake, actually. Yeah. So the you know the shakes the shakes uh themselves didn't cause any trouble. Yeah. um so they how do you call it, because they built their power plant by the beach. Yeah, almost on the beach. um, because they need lots of water in the nuclear power plants. And Japan doesn't really have big rivers, unlike the U.S. or other countries in the European continent. Japan, I heard the same thing about the UK. There are some major rivers, but they don't. Not China, for example, China and the U.S. and some countries in Europe, they have like very, very huge rivers, right? And so they build a nuclear power plants, nuclear plants by those rivers. But Japan doesn't really have like big rivers, huge rivers. So we have to build that by the ocean. Yeah. And yeah, and the tsunami, the tidal wave came, and that damaged the nuclear power plants. So the nuclear power plants themselves are not dangerous. Yeah, we should move the nuclear power plants more like a, how do you call it, like an inland. Yeah, um, not by the ocean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and that tidal wave was totally unexpected. We have tidal waves in Japan all the time, but it was a very, very huge one because you know nobody expected that. Yeah. So Fukushima, um, I just want to bring to your attention. I'm not angry or anything, but um, people talk about like, um, in Japan, like when we talk about, um, okay, now, um, if you're from other countries, and it might be difficult to to understand this one here. But when we talk about, when we, the Japanese people, talk about Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we're not talking about nuclear bombs. We're talking about their histories. We're talking about the places. We're talking about the cultures. We're talking about the places of people. Yeah. Um, I understand, like, because I lived in US, I understand, like, when people talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they're talking about nuclear bombs or like atomic bombs, all the stuff. But kind of, some people get offended, yeah, when people say like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and you know, they make it sound like those people represent the atomic bombs, or like, the damages of those bombs and stuff. But we don't. When we talk about Nagasaki and Hiroshima, we're talking about their histories. We're talking about the people, because atomic bombs, the American atomic bombs on those places is just one incident in their long histories. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Do you see what I'm getting to? So, for example, Fukushima. Yeah, Fukushima is one place which is very historical. Yeah, and this tsunami thing is, well, like, this nuclear power plant accident is just one of the accidents that they had in their long history. Yeah, so, if you can understand this one here. Yeah. Mr. G, you are Italian nationalist, and Sally and Bacon and other people, you guys are, you are UK nationalists, and you love your countries, right? Yeah. And uh, I appreciate if you talk about Fukushima's nuclear plants accidents, um or whatever, and if you can specify like that, the nuclear power plant accidents, not just say Fukushima. Yeah, because for us, Fukushima is just one place in Japan which has a long history and stuff. Yeah, and Nagasaki, you know, not. Um, if you're talking about atomic bombs, dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and I appreciate if you can specify the specific the incidents. Yeah, not just say Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because those places do not represent the the atomic bombs. Do you see what I'm getting to? Yeah. So if you talk about those accidents or incidents, and I want you to to make it clear that you're talking about those accidents, not just say Fukushima, because for us, Fukushima is just one place in Japan, and the place had a very long history, um, traditions and stuff. Yeah, those places don't represent those incidents or accidents and stuff. Yeah. Do you see what I'm getting to? Because s- even some Japanese people, Yeah, even some Japanese people, mainly communists, mainly leftist, they say, no more Hiroshima or whatever. No. And for us, like, no, what do you mean by like no more Hiroshima? Hiroshima has a very long history. Yeah. Um, almost 2,000 years of history in there. Yeah. And yeah, well, like no more Nagasaki, no more Hiroshima or something. It sounds ridiculous to us. Yeah. So some of us get offended. Yeah. So if you're talking about those accidents, and I want you to, I appreciate if you can specify the the particular accidents and stuff. Yeah. And Bacon, Japan built itself after them bombs into one of the greatest countries in the world. Thank you very much. Yeah, yeah. Our ancestors try very hard for us. Yeah. Now for the Koreans or Chinese want to take advantage of that. You're talking about Sally, right? Sally is a rare diamond. She's a white Londoner and respected amongst the nationalists in PA. Yeah, somebody was, I think you or somebody else brought that to my attention too. Yeah. Sally, yeah. You are actually, you make speeches in your conference and stuff, right? If you get the money to fly over, I think you could meet our leaders, Mark and Laura. That'd be very nice. Yeah. Yeah. I have some, I'm trying to get that money. Yeah. I don't know when or how, but actually, I do have a plan. Yeah. Uh, I don't do speeches really, but somebody was saying that you're a great speaker. Yeah. And Bacon, and she loves a drink and a dance. Oh, is that right? Yeah, me too. We got something in common, actually. Yeah. She does book reviews. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love to drink and dance. Because I lived in Mexico. I lived in Mexico, so I love to drink and dance. Yeah. Yeah. Bacon, you would love meeting us. We look after you in PA. Oh, is that right? Oh, that'd be very nice, actually. Yeah, I'll be very safe. Yeah. Mhm. Like I said, I should make a T-shirt which says that I'm not the immigrant. I'm just tourist leaving in a week or something. I should put it on the back of my T-shirt. Yeah, and front too, actually. Japan, man, in Mexico. Wow, yeah. I lived in Mexico for about 3 years. Yeah, that's why I speak Spanish. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I really loved living in Mexico. Yeah, Mexico is one of my favorite countries. Yeah, even though that doesn't mean that I want to accept immigrants from that country, but yeah, bacon. Haha. I will remember this T-shirt slogan, right? Yeah, to stay safe. I want to stay safe. I don't want to be stoned by by some nationalists. Yeah. Because we're all sick and tired of having people from other countries. Yeah. Hey, look at the Chinese guy over there. Get out of the country. Go back to China. Whatever. If I go over there and some people may yell at me and my family. Yeah. Actually, if I go to the UK and I want to take my family, yeah, I want to take my wife and children, yeah, because I want them to see, what I will see, yeah. Because when I was a flight attendant, I saw many different places, but what makes me sad, almost sad, is that I cannot share those memories with anybody because I was just because I was on duty when I was doing that, right? Yeah, I talked to my wife and kids, and I do talk about what I saw in the UK or in Italy or in Germany, in Thailand or whatever different countries, but I can really share the memories with them because they haven't been there. Yeah, we are not together, so next time I go anywhere, and I want to take my wife and kids. Yeah, and I want them to see what I see. Yeah. So if I do go to the UK, then I taking my wife and the 7 children. Yeah. Yeah. You want to go to the UK? Yeah. My beautiful daughter is in front of me right now, and yeah, she's getting. I think she's getting ready to go to school and stuff. But yeah, she's hearing me, and if I go to the UK and if I meet you guys, and I'll be with 8 other people. Yeah, let me get back to the this Korean guys demand. So we finished 5, right? Yeah, and sixth one is uh uh he wants to make the I don't know what the hell he wants to do. He wants to make the women's sanitary items free. I don't know why he is talking about that. And many women wonder why he is talking about that, actually. Goddamn freak. Yeah. This freak is saying that he wants to make women's sanitary items free. Why? I don't know. I don't know why he is even talking about it. Maybe he thinks that he can get the votes for saying that. I don't know. Koreans demand lots of stuff. Are they Asian Africans? They are. They actually are. Because they kind of like when you look at Europe geographically, Europe is actually next to Africa, right? Yeah, just like that, Japan and Korea, we look almost same. Yeah, that's the difference. Europeans and Africans don't look the same. You guys look very different, but um, Koreans and Japanese look very close to each other. Yeah, that's why some people. I understand you like I don't know about people in the UK, but but as far as I know, like people get mixed up with Koreans and Japanese and Chinese and stuff. But for us, we're very different. And they demand lots of things, yeah. And they want to this guy this particular person, he demands to make women's sanitary items, napkins and stuff, free. Yeah. I don't know why this freak is talking about that. Sick bastard. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, and the next one is uh, he wants to ban the nuclear plants. Yeah. So and you know and like I said, actually nuclear power plants are very safe. Yeah. And we never really had any accidents or something, because of what they are. Yeah, we had this accident because of tsunami, because of the tidal waves. Yeah, so we could build that someplace else, and it's gonna be safe. Yeah. Anyway, and eighth one is uh, we will not have nuclear weapons. Yeah, and we have to keep this peaceful constitution or something. Yeah. So basically, and in my opinion, Japan should have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Because all the other countries around Japan have nuclear weapons. Russia, North Korea, and China. Yeah. Some people say that Japan already does have nuclear weapons, but we just don't say it. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Yeah. Some nuclear specialists say that um, because we have a lot of nuclear power plants in Japan, and we have all the nuclear waste and stuff and whatever, and some people say that some of the nuclear waste are missing because they put those nuclear waste into bombs or something, and that I'm not really sure, but some people do say that. Yeah, but anyway, so this guy asserts that Japan should not have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So basically, this guy asserts uh pretty much nothing good for the Japanese people. Yeah, he just wants to destroy. He just wants to destroy the this country. Yeah, in my point of view, anyway. Yeah, uh, yeah, and this guy and the party that he belongs to pretty much asserts the same thing. And other party members, other members in this party, you know, they're Japanese people, and they want to destroy the culture, or like this, they want to basically destroy this country here. Again, like I stated earlier, you are 20 years behind UK. They actually have sanitary towels in men's room in lefty establishments. Do you guys ever use that? I really don't know how to use them. I've seen them, because I see, there are many women in this family here. So, you know, so I see sanitary items all over the house, but I don't, I never really tried that in my life. So, this thing about selling ladies femme products cheaper is to get the women's vote. Probably, yeah. They use that tactic here and then never made them free or cheaper as they promised. Yeah. Oh, is that right? In the UK, they never made it free or cheaper. Yeah. So basically, this guy is trying to do the same, and like Bacon said, we are like 20 years behind. So they did the same thing about 20 years ago, like they actually promised. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of funny actually. Yeah. This um mm, yeah. Bacon, just a second, about nuclear weapons, right? But this the party that he belongs to, yeah, um they are made up of like Japanese and maybe Chinese and Koreans and stuff, and whatever, and um quite the left party. But what's funny is actually became this guy was supposed to be running for uh, another party. Yeah. First, he was financed by the Socialist Party. I think the official name is Social Democratic Party or something, but it's pretty much a communist people. Yeah, communist minded people. And this guy was pushed by that party first, and I think he was financed too. He was financed by the party and stuff. But once he became a little bit famous, and then he left the party and he moved to this party that he belongs to now, which is just as bad as, yeah, which is pretty much just as bad as the 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 Social Democratic Party. Yeah, probably because the Social Democratic Party used to be a very big party in Japan, but it got so much smaller, that it that they only have one house member in Japan now. It's a tiny party now. It's more like Mark said. Mark Collett has said before, zombie party almost. It's almost non-existent. Yeah, and maybe he didn't want to run that. He didn't want to run his election from that party because he knew that he was going to lose, but he wanted to get the money. He wanted to get finance uh, by somebody. So he first went for the Social Democratic Party, but he basically betrayed the party and he moved to another party, which is called Reiwa Shinsengumi. And this guy, this party, some this party is more popular. Yeah, it's a leftist party, but this party is a little bit more popular because they talk about nationalism. They talk about patriotism, and they talk about the respect. They talk about the respect for the emperors, imperial family, and stuff. And in Japan, everybody wants to respect the imperial family and stuff. So I believe Japan has nuclear bacon. I believe Japan has nuclear weapons, and I hope you do. Yeah, it is the only way to protect the global American empire. And look what happened to South Africa, Ukraine, when they disarmed their nukes, right? Exactly. Ukraine. That's it's this ongoing thing now. Yeah. If Ukraine had nuclear weapons, then the Russians wouldn't be there by now. Yeah. Bacon. Yes, purple-haired women protesting about the free sanitary products. Another arm of communism, right? What a coincidence! Because in Japan, they purple their hair. Seriously, they those you know, Japanese communists or Japanese feminists, they have purple hair and red hair. Man, I'm not talking about the like red hair from Ireland or red hair from Europe or whatever. They color it like a red, like red, like this red. Yeah. So yeah, purple hair. Yeah. The reason I'm laughing about this is because um when we when we have street corner speeches and stuff, and there are some disturbers who come and try to disturb our speeches and stuff, and many of the women have purple hair, like a red hair and stuff, and actually the I don't know about the other countries, but at this moment, the women protesters, or like a female protesters, don't really bother me because I mean they don't they, their protests don't really bother me because they don't really have like a how do you call it, loudspeakers, like the machine, how do you call this, loudspeakers. They don't use those machines, they just scream and they yell and stuff, yeah. But what really bothers me is uh the male communist or male yeah protesters or disturbers. They actually do come and try to attack us and stuff, and or like they use loudspeakers, and it's very annoying. Yeah. Yes, Ochiai, they do it again and again and again. Yeah, they use it to attract votes. Um, then it is forgotten about for a couple of years, and they start again. Right? Hey, ladies, want free tampons? Vote for me. Right? Oh, it's kind of like uh Me Too movement. Have you guys heard? Have you guys heard about that? I know it was became popular for like 6 months or something, and just kind of died away. Um, and I don't really know like what kind of movement that was, but it was there for like 6 months or something, and it just kind of disappeared. But I got the feeling that maybe in a couple years somebody will start to scream again, right? Yeah, Me Too and more U.S. trash. We know, right? Mhm. Yeah, the movements in the U.S. can really get, to my impression anyway, because you guys speak the same language, and you guys share lots of cultures. When something happens in the U.S. and it moves to the UK really fast, yeah, like a Black Lives Matter and stuff, right? Japan, Mr. G, Japan has probably secret nuclear weapons like Israel. Probably, yeah. I hope so. Yeah. Because we have all the technologies and we have all the nuclear waste. So, why not use them? Every once in a while, um, the secret weapons that we had in Japan get exposed. I don't know who is exposing those things. Maybe people inside. I don't know, but um, we had this bomb. We had this bomb called cluster bomb or something. Um, I forgot the name of the weapons. I don't know anything about weapons actually. I don't know anything about a lot of things. But this particular weapon that they drop from the airplane, and it just kind of the one bomb spreads into like thousands of like a smaller bombs, and it drops and they kill a lot of people. The kind of bombs, um, and actually, I think that type of bomb is banned in the international community or something, and they had a treaty or something. But the Japan joined the treaty, but Japan secretly had it, and in about 10 years or something, that somebody found out that Japan still has, and they still use that in their trainings, and eventually, I think they gave up the weapons or something. I don't know. Yeah. Cluster bombs are bombs within bombs. Ah, okay, maybe that's the one that yeah I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know any terms actually. Like partnership or whatever. I forgot already. I don't know any terms. Cluster bombs. Yeah, cluster bombs. Yeah. Um, every country will be attacked by the globalist American empire. It is in the form of the United Nations. Ah ha ha. And World Economic Forum, IMF, NATO, right? NATO, really? But NATO is just a military treaty, right? Yeah. North Atlantic Treaty Organization or something. Yeah. IMF, International Monetary Fund, I think. Yeah. I noticed you getting angry at the protest, right? I get angry sometimes, but usually I don't. I pretend to be angry. Yeah. Uh, to make mainly to make our guys, like try to. I'm trying to get my guys. I'm trying to get my guys to attack those guys, or whatever. That's why I do. Sometimes I just pretend. To be honest, I you have to act sometimes, man. Yeah, to move a crowd, right? Which protest is this? Which protest is this? Which protest are you talking about? Uh, is it on your channel? Yeah, in my yeah, on my channel. I put up some the channel that you're watching right now. Fourth playlist from the top. Um, Everything's pretty much written in Japanese, but if you just click in, then maybe you can find one of those. And yeah, um, yeah, I put up on some of the some of the speeches or like protests that I have joined before, and there are some parts that I had to actually physically fight those guys and stuff. Yeah, I think. Bacon, NATO is evil. Really, I never had the impression that NATO was evil. I thought it was just a military treaty or organization. The head of the globalist snake. It should have been stopped after the Soviet Union collapsed, but it grew and wants the world against those who oppose oppose the news. I gotta change the pronunciation because every time they hear the word, like I just say one time, okay? I'm just gonna say one time. Jewish people, right? Yeah. If I say that, I can put myself in trouble. So I just say newish people, newish people, newish people, and if I become more nasal, maybe they don't catch me. Yeah. So. Mm. I heard some stories and I watched lots of videos actually. Yeah, um, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not. First of all, I'm not British. I don't think I'm entitled to to criticize anything about Britain or parties in Britain or whatever. Yeah. All I know is Mark Collett, your party leader, was saying that there are some parties called zombie parties. Yeah, which means that they are not dead, but they are not alive anymore. Yeah. Um, those parties still exist, and some people still do belong to those parties, but they are not going anywhere. Yeah. This party is becoming or has already become um, zombie party because many men left, and those men are, uh, you know, some of those men um, are not afraid of going to prison, for example, because they have been to then those actually the founding members of the Japan First Party have already been to prison for the uh, for struggling with the physical struggles with the commies and stuff, yeah, and other stuff, and those some of those guys got arrested like more than 10 times already, and they went to prison about 5 times, so they're not afraid to go. They're not afraid of. They're not afraid of going to to get arrested or fined for something because actually some of those guys have lots of money. But those people are very influential because they know stuff. They know about struggles. They know how to fight against commies. They have experiences, and those are the guys that we want to listen to. Yeah. And on the other hand, yeah, the guys who have never really had that kind of experience and stuff, and they have a lots of talks and they have all the like methods and stuff. But those guys are not attractive, and they are not, For example, like when they go on the street, yeah, when they go on the street, they do street corner speeches, and those communist disturbers come, and basically they cannot fight back. They just get yelled at, screamed at, they get pushed, they get pushed around, and that's it. Yeah, they cannot do anything. If you get attacked and you cannot do anything back to them, and you're very unsafe. Yeah, yeah, you cannot protect yourself. If you want to stay safe, and you have to be able to fight. Yeah, and so they do speeches and stuff, and they get attacked, and they cannot do anything back to them because they're women, and the men who are in there believe that fighting back to the communists can give them a wrong impression, bad impression. So they get attacked and they get pushed around, and that's it. They cannot do anything. You see what I mean?